All right, like, click, and subscribe, do all that. You already know what time it is. You got the Rams taking on the Giants. This one was a low-scoring game, defensive game, if you will. But anyway, the Rams beat the Giants 9-17. Let's check the stats. Jared Goff, 25 of 32, 200 yards, 1 TD. Gerald Everett, 12 yards of the TD. Cooper Kupp, 69 yards of the TD. Daniel Jones, 23 of 36, 190 yards, 1 pick. Wayne Galeman, 45 yards. Darius Slayton, 48 yards. Basically, like I said, it was a low defensive game today, which I kind of enjoy because I love defenses when they're being played. But, you know, in this one, Daniel Jones got sacked 5 times, and he blew his shot in the red zone. So let's take you to that. Let's go straight to it. Here we go. Daniel Jones got so close. It was 56 seconds left on the clock. He's going there. You know what he's going to do? That drive is wasted. Clearly, because that's what Daniel Jones did. He did it with a 19-play wasted on the Steelers, and he's done it again against the Rams. Look at it. Thought he had something? No, you didn't have nothing. Rams had it. And up next, you had that stingy defense with the Indianapolis Colts taking on the undefeated so far Chicago Bears. The Colts, they ended up stopping their winning streak against the Bears 19-11. Let's check that stats. Phillip Rivers, 16 of 29, 160 yards, 1 TD. Jonathan Taylor, 68 yards. Zach Pascal, 58 yards. Nick Foles, 26 of 42, 249 yards, 1 TD, 1 pick. David Montgomery had about 27 yards. Allen Robinson, who saved the day for my fantasies, had 101 yards at a TD. Mo Alley Cox got himself an early TD also in the first quarter, or the first or second quarter, either one. Another defensive game, really, but with a lot of field goals in this one. And like I said, Allen Robinson saved my fantasy leagues at literally the last minute of the game. Let's show it. Robinson was putting in work this whole drive. It was great, marvelous. Like I said, he came through at the end and saved my fantasy leagues literally at the last minute. As you can possibly see right there, the TD. It was at 1:36 on the clock. Good job, Allen Robinson. But bottom line, it wasn't enough to get your team the victory, and y'all get your first loss of the season. Now, I've been saying this about Nick Foles a long time. Like, he's always good as a man to come into the game second half of the season or second half of the game or whatever like that. But bottom line is, I told him at the beginning they should probably have Mr. Trubisky start the game and then have Nick Foles in the game. When Nick Foles comes in starting, it's usually not a good thing. And the Bears were undefeated before this point, and now they've taken a loss to the stingy defense of the Colts. So, what do you think, ladies and gentlemen? And up next, we got the undefeated Buffalo Bills taking on the Las Vegas Raiders. And in this one, the Raiders tried, but it was not to be. The Bills end up beating the Raiders 30-23. Let's check the stats. Josh Allen, 24-34, 288 yards, 2 TDs. Devin Singletary, 55 yards of the TD. Stephon Diggs, 115 yards. Derek Carr, 32 of 44, 311 yards, 2 TDs. Josh Jacobs only had 48 yards of the game. Darren Waller had about 88 yards. Josh Allen also had a rushing TD too, because you know he's going to get his rushing TDs popping, and that's how he goes down with that. Daniel Carson actually made 3 field goals in this game. 2 late turnovers from the Raiders kept Buffalo undefeated at 4-0. Yeah, it was crazy. Here you have 1 turnover that's about to happen right here. Derek Carr getting abused. That's the 1 turnover right there. Now, you already know Darren Waller's part of my fantasies, but watch what happens to him. He goes over there, and then bum-ass Josh Norman, of all people, gets a strip sack on Darren Waller. Josh Norman. Yes, Josh Norman, bum-ass, that didn't do nothing with the Redskins. He went to another team after that, which I can't think of, and now he's with the Buffalo Bills. They straightened him out, I guess, but he's still trash. I'm sorry to say, that's just what it is. And then we had the main event of the night, the Philadelphia Eagles taking on the San Francisco 49ers. Will the Eagles go 1-2-1? Because if they do, that will technically put them on top of the NFC East goofiness division. Think about that. Look at 2-pick Carson. I call that because he's thrown 2 picks in 3 games. 2 picks in the Redskins game, 2 picks in the Rams game, and 2 picks in the other game that he played against the Bengals, which happened to be a tie. But guess what? He only threw 1 pick in this game, which actually gave them the victory. 25-20. Nick Mullins, 18 of 26 for 200 yards, 1 TD, 2 picks. Jerick McKinnon, 54 yards of the TD. George Kittle was back. He got back, 183 yards of the TD. Carson Wentz, 18 of 28, 193 yards, 1 TD. And like I said before, only 1 pick in this game. He also had a rushing TD. Travis Fulgham, 57 yards of the TD. Brandon Ayuk's, he got a TD in the first quarter, and I'm going to show you how he pulled that off. The TD was crazy. Look at how Brandon gives the business right here. Look at this. He goes and swerves out right around. Look at the leap because he does this in college. Yeah, I'm leaping over fools getting TDs. That was crazy. Look at this slow motion. Slow it again. Yeah, giving the business again. And one thing I should not forget to mention, Deebo Samuels was back in the game after having his foot injuries. So they got 2 players back, Deebo Samuels and George Kittle. Of course, Jimmy G, porn star Jimmy G was out. You know what I'm saying? Garoppolo. So they was already down to Nick Mullins, their second QB, and he does something like this. Throwing picks, an easy pick right there in front of the face. That got him out of the game. Nick Mullins, what the heck were you doing on that possession? You didn't even throw it to anybody in clear range. It was just wide open pick city. So at this point in the game, they put in C.J. Beathard, their third string, you know what I'm saying, because Nick Mullins had to sit on down. Obviously, because of that pick, this game was too close. So at this point, it's the final play of the game. Beathard, 7 seconds left, 4th and goal, and he had to launch it, and there was jobbling around, and he missed it. And that's how it happened, and that's how Philly got their first win of the season, 1-2-1. But the Eagles are definitely on top because the division is trash. And when I mean trash, I want you to understand something. The Eagles are 1-2-1. The Cowboys are 1-3. The football team is 1-3. And the Giants are 0-4. When you combine all of that in their division, Week 4 has ended. All of their wins combined to 3 wins. That is 3 wins between 4 teams in Week 4 in that entire division. I don't think I need to say much more.